Howdy everybody, Dave here, heading out to my buddy's place again, the Vintage Iron Emporium. We're going to go out today and see if we can't snag a few more parts. And the reason why, we all got a little bit of a surprise coming to us here in southern Idaho. It's going to be 80 degrees today, which is about the warmest it's been for the last week. But come this weekend, we're going to have overnight lows below 32 down into the 20s. Yeah. So there's a lot of little things that I need to get done before snow starts flying. Yeah. So hang tight and check it out and see what we're up to today. So the part I'm after this morning is that 3-point hitch bracket. Now I'm going to show you why I want it so badly, yes, here in a bit. And we're about ready to get this thing off of here. And, there is the seat off. There, and it still has some wire attached to it. But that's mine. Of course, I'm picking up the rest of this machine too. For parts and pieces more than anything, although it is maybe if a person really wanted to put some time and money into it, you could make our runner out of her. Now that I have the seat loose, all I have to do is get these studs out of there so I can let this thing slide back or out or up or whatever I need to do to get that front end unhooked. So a pair of vice grips on here should do the trick. Yeah. There we go. And two of them are going to break that puppy loose. Yep. Right on. I had them on so tight so they could get a grip. I couldn't get them apart. Now, if I put these back on my D14, I'll be seeing if I can't pull the studs out and replacing those with a bolt. Yeah. Let's see if I can't get this front end of this thing pried up again. There's the whole thing loose. Right there. Yep. That's it. And yeah, I'm not going to forget the shim that goes on there. There it is, a factory Alice Chalmers 3-point hitch. I'd really rather had the other one because those holes are a little bit wallowed out, but not bad. But yeah, this is what a factory 3-point hitch adapter bracket looked like from Alice Chalmers. Let me show you what I got right now that ain't that. And just that quick, we're back here to the Nelson Craig farm where I'm going to show you what I was talking about. Now you've all seen this one with the fancy little ears with the bolt holes and that. This is the original Alice Chalmers made top link bracket for a 3-point hitch. I just noticed it may be cracked. I'm going to have to look at that, and if it is, we'll call my son and see if he can weld that up for me. That line that looks like a crack on the top side doesn't show up here on the underside, but it sure does here. Yeah, right there. So I don't know, we'll have to look at that and maybe just notch the top of that and weld it up or whatever. Could be just a defect in the paint job. But now for the top of the line job, And I know a lot of people really think highly of Steiner's antique parts, but let me show you what we got from them to do the same job. Okay, there's the original, and here's the replacement that's hitting the market right now. In the photographs, this looked like it was maybe one piece of angle iron that had had the rolled edge on it, or it was a piece of flat steel plate that had been put in the brake and had been bent, which I would have been in love with. However, when we got it, you can see that hole right there. This was two pieces of flat bar stock welded together right there. And yeah, it really looked like a first year student's ag shop built contraption. In fact, my son and I cut them off, but my son ended up welding the ears back onto this one because one of them was 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch longer than the other one. So that meant that the pin that went between the holes was sitting this way. Well, that pulls hard on one side of the bracket and doesn't pull evenly, so that creates a lot of wear and shear force strain on the bolts. And you still might be able to see how this side is tilted this way to the other back side is straight into the deal, because you can see that pieces, well, there you go, maybe that helps a little better. Yeah, these two aren't even level across there. This one's angled uphill if it was to be mounted on the tractor. My son and I, my son welded up all of this ugly tack weldy looking joint right here, and we took turns grinding and shaping and whatnot, rounding it over so it did look more like it does in the photo on the Steiner's webpage, as being one piece of steel that is bent and then holes punched in it and drilled, and then these things welded on. These things are very expensive, and quite honestly, it was a hunk of junk when I got it. Anyway, the one that we got from Steiner's is going to go away. If anybody's interested in it, let me know. Make you a heck of a deal on it, and you pay the freight to get it to wherever you're at. In the meantime, we're going to clean up the old original, check on it, see if that is actually a crack or just a heavy scratch mark. And if it's fine, we'll throw a coat of paint on it and we'll install it on the D14. Say, how did Pinocchio find out he was made out of wood? Any ideas? His hand caught on fire. And now we're going to buzz back over to the Vintage Iron Emporium. I guess I'm only going to get that 3-point top link thing today. I was thinking about getting the rim and the wheel center for the adjustable wheel, but I remembered that mine has been converted to a 28-inch tire in rim assembly already, and this one that's on that's a 26, which is actually the correct one for a D14, but a little harder and more expensive to come by in the way of tires. So yeah, I'm going to let that slide, but I still need to get the drop axle out from underneath that so I can repair the one I have, possibly by just swapping around some parts. Either I'm going to have to buy some new parts. In my puttering around the Vintage Iron Emporium today, I did see a bunch more red wide front end parts and pieces floating around here. So if anybody needs some, you might ought to get a hold of some of this stuff right here. Here's an early one with the tie rod out in front of the axle. Doesn't appear to be all broken up either. I know I spent a lot of time last go around looking at the orange tractors, but there's a few red ones out here yet, and I mean darn few compared to what there was, that could very well be collectible. And more importantly, probably restorable. One of the channels that I follow is a fellow by the name of Matt. It's Matt the Scrap Whisperer. Yeah, well, he's been having troubles finding parts for his little LB International engine. So Matt, guess what I come up with? Right there, a little LB, but Matt, I'm sorry, you're still out of luck. No head. I did find the remains of a Whitty single cylinder hit and miss engine, and that one underneath that tire and that, I'm not picking it up because there's a stinky over there, right over in there. But I think that is a vertical engine. I'll come back and look at that on another day when Mr. Snake is gone. Yeah. Sadly, you know you're getting old when your back goes out more than you do. Yeah, just like me. I'm going to give this a new old stock, or whatever you want to call it, bracket a once over just to check on that what looks to be like a crack. I'm thinking that's actually just a run in the paint that has gone goofy. Okay, that line that appeared like a crack is actually the edge of a run in some paint. Yeah, there's no crack in that metal. You can see the run of paint right here. Big blob of it up here. It looked like it was hanging maybe this way. You can kind of see that dark. That's the paint that had run. Or primer. Yeah, so that's a good solid one piece. Well, there's the bracket complete with a pin in it. And it'll go right under here where I've already pulled the seat off so I can put that other one in. And yeah, it's got a stud in it, so that's going to come out. And I already dropped a shim down in there. But yeah, we'll get that installed after we get it cleaned up and painted. Go through the seat, make sure it's good, and then we'll put it all back together again. In fact, the seat assembly over on that other parts tractor looks to be in a little better condition than mine. Paint-wise, anyway. I'll have to check it out, see how the pins and bushings are. We may end up swapping the seats out as well. For now, though, I'm going to put this top link bracket in the bead blasting cabinet, and as soon as we get the cabinet assembled, that'll be one of the first things that's going to get cleaned up and a coat of paint thrown on it. And then we'll put it on the D14. Plus, I'll also get around to changing out that right rear fender on this tractor, and I've got some side panels to put on that go underneath the fuel tank yet. So we'll get that done. And probably just about as soon as I get some of the other little projects wrapped up, we'll get to working on this D14 to get it running and make it a usable tractor once again. I've got a lot of parts for it. It's just a matter of getting the time to put it all together and make it work. If vegetables are so good for you, then can somebody please explain to me why vegans are always trying to make them taste like meat? I mean, who wants to eat a carrot burger? Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's little episode of stuff that I'm up to with my old iron and whatnot. We're going to have a couple of extra videos out this week, more so than normal, simply because we've got a lot of little projects to do before winter really starts setting in here in southern Idaho. Yeah, and it's coming quick. Like I said, today's high is going to be around 80. This weekend, daytime highs are going to be like 48, 49 to the low 50s. So, yeah, I don't want to be outside collecting parts. That's why we're getting them done now, plus a few other projects. Next one up, though, you all might enjoy because it does involve some old iron here at the farm. So, here at Nelson Creek Farm, I'm Farmer Dave, wishing you well, and we'll catch up with you in the next video. Oh, and thank you to all the new subscribers. I got quite a few of you, even another one from over in the UK. So, we'll catch up with you later. You all have a good one, and thank you for subscribing.